So today we continue with breaking down the mystery of the star, understanding your star, understanding that thing that pushes your influence and your level of impact to another dimension. And from yesterday, we looked at the secrets of the star. We started looking at the various angles that makes up your star. And the feedback I have had both in the group and privately, some people have been awakened, some people have been stretched, some people have started looking at their lives from a different perspective, and that is it. That is the concept of the purpose of what we're doing here. And that's why I felt like we should handle this after going through this amazing devotional, the HillTopians Daily Devotional by Reverend Olantunde Steve of HillTop Faith Ministries International. So today we're going to look at, after looking at your vision, your star and spirituality, we looked at your star and your vision. And now we're going to look at understanding the star and diligence. So remember, we're trying to break down the 5 arrows that activate your star. The 5 arrows that activate your star, which you see here, these 5 arrows makes up the star. And we said you are in the middle. You are in the middle. The you we are talking about is in the middle. And for this you to shine bright, to shine like a star, they always say in music, to shine globally, to shine nationally, to shine continentally, and create significant impact, all of these 5 arrows must shine. All of these 5 arrows must shine. So if you are dark in 1 and shining in 4, you are not a complete star. If you are dark in 2 and shining in 3, you are not a complete star. The goal is for you to shine in all areas, in all of the 5 arrows. The 5 arrows should be activated. When something is not activated, it's not functional. When the lamp is not lighted, it cannot shine. So you need to activate all of these. So the first arrow was your star and spirituality. So we said the first arrow, you need to activate your spirituality. We spoke about vision and your star and your vision. You need to activate your vision. And we saw the 5 vital signs of a successful vision. Today, we're looking at the 3rd arrow, which you need to activate. Without you activating this 3rd arrow, the star will be dark on one side, and when it's dark on one side, you cannot shine completely. The 3rd arrow is your star and diligence. The 3rd star that makes the 3rd arrow that makes up your complete shining like an incredible star is diligence. The key verse is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29. Proverbs 22:29. That is the key verse for the day. Okay, let's break it down. Pay attention, take down notes where you can. Okay, let's go. Whatever does not stretch you cannot impact the world. I love this sentence. Whatever does not stretch you cannot impact the world. That's a fact. Let me tell you something. That dream that you're working on, that vision that you're working on, if it has not stretched you, if you have not done uncomfortable things regarding your vision, you're still joking what you want to do with your life. You're still joking. See, like I was telling you guys, I love to research and understand the patterns of life for those who have made it. I was watching a video by Elon Musk a few months back, not the world richest person right now. And he says sometimes he works in his office for 3 days and he forgets that there's day and night. Does he get sick? Sometimes does he get weighed out? Yes. But it stretches him. Sometimes he sleeps 2 hours a day. It stretches him. Sometimes he eats, he goes to forgetting that there's food. It stretches him. Sometimes he works very long hours, no resting, no time for television. That it stretches him. Sometimes he wakes up every 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every day for several years. It stretches him. Sometimes he moves to a smaller house so that he can take all the money and put in the company. That is stretching you. We're talking about the stretching of hard work. Like you're putting in long, dedicated hours. Don't go and sit and watch movies for 10 hours and you say you are working hard. That's not hard work. You're up for 10 hours and you're dedicated on that project. You are dedicated on that business. You leave your house at 6 a.m. in the morning and you stay in that business, that shop, in that office at 10 p.m. and you're dedicated to it. You're doing one task after another and completing them. That is you stretching yourself. That is part of diligence. Whatever does not stretch you cannot impact the world. You cannot wake up consistently 4 a.m. for the PPA program for 30 days, 40 days, for 6 months, and you say you want to succeed. You cannot. Diligence is one of the core arrows. Diligence and hard work is one of the core arrows of brightening your star. I was telling some people, from my personal research, let me say this to anybody, my personal research to all of you running businesses, NGOs, or institutions. Let me tell you something. For you to succeed, to build a business that will stand and go places, you must dedicate at least 14 hours and above every day on that business. Let me tell you something, if you don't know. For you to build a startup that will go places, for you to build a career that will go places as a startup person, you cannot do that 8 hours. You cannot do that working only 9 to 5, 9 to 4, 8 to 4. It's not going to work. Number one is that you are doing many things alone. You are the marketer, you are the accountant, you are the strategist, you are everything. So 8 hours will not help you do anything. You have to put in at least 14, 15, 16 hours and above on a daily basis. And you have to put like that every day for at least 7 years before it stands. Don't start only today, I want to see success tomorrow or in 3 months. It doesn't work like that. No matter how good you are, you have to be diligent in it. It takes work for things to keep working. It takes work for things to keep working. It takes consistent work for things to keep working. What is your level of work? How many hours do you put in consistently? How many productive hours do you put in consistently in that vision? No matter how much your spiritual side is shining, no matter how much your vision is beautiful and well written, if this place is dark, these things are going to struggle. Until your sweat comes out of you and touches the earth cannot respond to you. Did you hear that? Reverend Olantunde Steve is saying, until your sweat comes out of you and touches the earth cannot respond to you. That's a fact about life. That's a principle about life. Until you sweat. Sweat must not mean that just putting in long hours is sweat. Your success will cost you sleep. It will cost you your sweat. It will cost you blood. It will cost you sleepless nights. It will cost you unrest. It will cost you severe uncomfort. I have said this to you guys several times. There is a level of success grace. There's a level of success favor that is released upon every human being only when you have put in a certain level of hard work into that dream. There's a level of grace open door that will never locate you until you have started putting in some level of hard work. That's from my personal experience. I think some people move around and pray for, God bless me, God give me an open door, and they don't deserve it. They are not sweating for it. They're not doing their own part. Stardom is not wishful thinking. Celebrity status is not wishful thinking. It being an influencer is not wishful thinking. Being a thought leader that is highly sought after is not wishful thinking. It is hard work thinking. You cannot be a star in what you have never done before. You go to work and put your energy in it. You cannot be a star in what you have never done. You got to work and put your energy in it. You got to work. Many people, that's why very few people get to succeed. Because only a few people get to pay the price of working hard. Just look at PPA. I've never done PPA. Almost 100 people. But only 30 people are able to wake up at 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. in the morning. Simple 4 a.m. in the morning. You can barely wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. So tell me, how do you consistently do things in other areas? I was talking with a mentee, somebody registered for mentorship the other day. I was checking, I think almost 2 months today. I was following up with her today. She has not done any of the activities. She's still in phase 1. None. She has not submitted one activity. I was asking her, so what's wrong? She said, I don't really know. And I asked a simple question. Can you categorically tell me that your life has consistently improved every single week since you stopped talking to me? She said, no, no. So what are you doing? But tomorrow you desire success. Tomorrow you want to look at some things. There's something I made up my mind the other day. I am not recommending any mentee. I'm not writing any recommendation letter. I am not endorsing any mentee for any opportunity if you don't deserve it. Mentees, you are hearing that. I am not endorsing anybody who is not serious. I made that decision, I think, a few days ago. I used to just, as long as I'm a mentee, I just write recommendation letters for you and endorse you. I'm not doing that nonsense. You have to earn my signature. You have to earn my endorsement now. And I'll tell you straight, trust me, I'm very good at. Many people come to me for recommendations, like every day. Anybody who just, like, many people just see me on Facebook, some Cameroonian, they just come, Chris, I want to do for a scholarship. I will tell you, if you have never attended, I'll give you a condition. I'll ask you a question. Have you attended any of my training? Say no. Online, offline, no. Then I cannot endorse you now. I don't know you from Adam. So you come and say, if I can endorse you, if you have attended any of my trainings, and if you insist, send me a picture of the event you participated, or tell me the event's name, at least I can think of recommending you. But when it comes to, don't confuse, there's recommendation letters different from endorsement. Yes. And of course, endorsement for pointing to an opportunity, pointing to a contract, pointing to a job, pointing you to an event that is exclusive, telling you, okay, go here, you go and make this person is different. I am not doing that for a lazy mentee again this year. You have to earn it. If you don't do your part of the mentorship activities, you forget about it. Like some mentees are not attending morning classes. Oh, that's cool. You know, as I said, I do this on my heart. You're not paying me anything to wake up at 4 a.m. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. like I should be working on a client's document. I should be writing an article. I should be finishing one of my books. I should be finishing one of my courses. I don't like I lack things to do that can bless me to, that can change my life to. There are many things I should be doing. But if I'm paying the price and working at 4 a.m. to have this session, it's because I believe it's important and you've got to do your part. But what? They're sleeping, right? The few people, serious people are here. You get the point? There's that place for diligence and hard work. Don't be carried away by the glory you see in the media. There is work behind it. Very true. Don't be carried away by the glory you see in the media. There is a lot of work behind it. There is a process. We only project the glory because the aim is to attract people to Christ by the beauty of the future he has for them and not to scare them with suffering. The cross is not the testimony. Like that's what many people do. They like to see, like when they see, like let's say for me, for example, they see the traveling, they see, you know, I'm not one of those who shares pictures of luxury hotels and all of that. So don't let them do that. When they see people travel, sleep in luxurious hotels, go to luxurious restaurants, and all of that. Oh, it's it's amazing, it's magical, it's sweet, and they want that kind of lifestyle. But come on, some don't know that for the last 10 years, I've never slept more than up to 4 hours. They don't know that there are some things I could not afford to buy because I'm saving money to put into the vision. Some people don't know that there are some things I cannot do, like an average young person would like to do, because I don't even have time to do it, because I'm trying to build myself, trying to work on myself, or I'm trying to live a principled life. They don't know that I get to abstain from alcohol and parties because of some of these things. Of course, those are things that in the normal human body wants it, because from his understanding, it is enjoyment. It is living life. Then you think I want to sleep too? Every day I see battle with sleep and just wake up. But just that I just choose to discipline myself and wake up when it's time to wake up. But sleep is, I also want to rest and just lie down now, maybe get breakfast in bed, or just travel, go be, and sometimes I really want to just go rest somewhere. And like, it seems so impossible sometimes. Like I need to fast and pray to unravel my mind that, you need to go for a vacation kind of stuff. Right? But when what they see on social media, it's the beautiful, the trips, or somebody you snap a beautiful office and share. Nobody's going to show you how they are battling with a landlord behind the scene and saying, sorry, I will pay you next week, I'll pay you next month. They don't show you that. Nobody's battling how they're struggling to raise a few more francs to go and pay electricity bill. They're not showing you that. Nobody's showing you how in their houses they're struggling to maybe feed. They're not showing you that. They're not showing you the battles behind the scenes that activates the glory. But there's work, there's massive work going on. What work are you putting in on your own? What kind of work are you putting in? So how can you be diligent today, according to Reverend Olantunde Steve? Place great value on your vision and service. If there is any personal gratification you cannot sacrifice for your vision, you cannot be diligent in it, and you cannot be a star. Hear that again. Place great value on your vision and service. If there is any personal gratification you cannot sacrifice for your vision, you cannot be diligent in it, and you cannot be a star. If you cannot sacrifice sleep now, how do you want to be diligent and be a star? If you cannot sacrifice burning fish, you cannot sacrifice partying, you cannot sacrifice buying the latest dress and the latest shoes and the latest phones that you don't really need to amplify your vision or your dream, how do you expect to be diligent in it? One way to be diligent is to sacrifice immediate gratification, sacrifice personal gratifications, sacrifice things to buy just for yourself so that you can just impress people and impress yourself that you're living with the big boys, right? You've got to sacrifice personal gratification for the sake of the vision. What are you sacrificing? Being up at 4 a.m. right now is sacrificing the personal enjoyment of sleep to be up right now. Refusing not to buy whatever, just like you can buy a book, you can buy a course and study so that you can amplify your skills and your competence. That is sacrificing personal gratification of hanging out and drinking that money off, or eating that money off, in investing in knowledge that you need for the future. That is sacrificing personal gratification. What are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing? Like I always say something funny. How do a struggling young person with an empty bank account with no significant impact, how do you sleep for so long and sleep? How does sleep even come to your eyes? People who have even made it, who can comfortably sleep, are sleeping and smiling. You are sleeping and smiling and even snoring on top. Who is giving you that audacity? Or you go and party all night, the whole weekend you're partying. You're comfortably partying. Nothing is disturbing you. You are taking your only savings. You even take almost 50% plus of your life wealth to go and party with it. Imagine someone that your bank account is maximum 50,000 francs. All the cash you have in this world, 50,000 francs. Then the small mobile money that you have around 10K, you take it to go out and party. You're partying, that's how many percent of your income, of your life income, not just income, your life savings you're using to party, unnecessary. And you'll be partying and smiling and saying that, oh, life is sweet. What is sweet about? You're eating your seed. Yes, you're using your own mouth to eat your future poverty, to eat yourself into poverty in the future. And you say life is sweet. It is sweet in the instant. It will be bitter in a few years to come. You've got to do something. Number 2, always finding something to do physically or mentally. Laziness frustrates the grace of God. Laziness frustrates the grace of God. Hear that. Laziness frustrates the grace of God. If you are not always doing something physically or mentally that pertains to your star, you will never arrive stardom. This angle will always, this arrow will always be that. Reading a book that enhances your skill and your knowledge towards your career is part of diligence. Getting out of bed physically, sitting on a table and studying, that's physical work. Leaving the house and going to the office in the day and in the night, every day, going to that business site, doing the marketing strategies, talking to people, advertising, doing all of these things. It is part of your stardom journey. It is part of your stardom journey. You need to make sure that you're doing your part. Number 3, limit and avoid distractions. Manage your time properly. Show me a diligent person. Show me somebody who has conquered distractions and managed time. If you still go late to important things of your life, you have a problem with being diligent. Do you know that? Yeah. You still go late to meetings. You still wake up late to attend training sessions like this. You still go late to anything, any of your tasks that you plan to do. You still start late. You finish late. You procrastinate. You still allow social media to distract you. Friends still call you and toss you around anyhow. One sign that you are diligent is that you have conquered. You have conquered frustrations. You have conquered distractions. You have conquered poor time management. Check if you are still somebody who is always late. You're always catching up. You are poorly organized. You cannot organize your time. Be careful. Next, number 4 on how to be diligent is be proactive. Don't always wait to be told. Yes, be proactive with your life. Be proactive with your work. Be proactive with your vision. Stop waiting for instructions. Think about, what can I be doing? What should I do tomorrow? What should I do this week? Always think in the future. Always know your next move. Like in our 2022 retreat that we did, one of the elements to become a dominant factor in your industry is always know your next move. Don't be reactive. Be proactive. One sign of diligence is that you are a proactive professional. Always think ahead. And being proactive is a skill. There's a course I have on proactivity lifestyle. If you have never taken that course, take that course. I think it's 2,000 now on the online platform, or 3,000. Proactivity life. Proactivity is you are trained to be proactive. It takes a system, it takes a pattern of life to be proactive and win. Number 5, take time to rest and go for retreat. Enjoy yourself, refresh your body, mind, and spirit so that you can maximize results. Yes, this is recommended for people who have started producing results, because your body is not a machine. It needs rest to rejuvenate and continue producing. So when you have reached that level where you have started seeing systems that are working, you started producing results, rest is important. Find a way to pluck out so that you can rejuvenate. Some people, it could be watching a movie, it could be going out to a town for a few days and all of that, right? But don't be unemployed, no business, nothing. And then you say, I want to go to the pool and rest for them 2 days. And then you borrow money to go rest. I've seen people do that. People get somebody that, oh, please, can you send me this? I want to go to Limbia and just rest. If you need to borrow money to go do anything that pertains rest, you don't deserve that rest. Or you want to go and rest by looking for, like people stood around and look for where there's free swimming pool, and then they go and rest. They cannot buy simple matter at hotel price because they can never afford it in the name that they are resting. They cannot eat quality 5-star hotel food because they cannot afford it, but they went there to rest. They are looking for the day that there's free pool day at a 4-star hotel like La Falaise or Aqua Palace, a 5-star hotel. Then they go and then they take pictures, put selfies on the status, and they tell you how life is sweet. When they bet the swimming pool, when on a free pool day, in their mind, they are resting. That is rest for the poor. That's how poor people rest. Rest if you deserve rest. Now, you may ask me, are there times when work or diligence fails? What if you are working so hard but you are not seeing results? The answer is simple. Sometimes you need to stop working to think and re-strategize the approach or the method you are working with. That's a fact. It's possible to be, another is good to be very discerning. It's good to have experienced mentors and coaches who can advise you and tell you some things that you don't understand. Because sometimes you can be working hard and no result because you are still in the place of training. You're still in a period of training. You just need to keep working hard and being patient. Also, you can be working hard and no results because they're using the wrong strategy. You're on the wrong path. You're not on your right path yet. You're on the wrong project, per se. But you're working day and night, no results. Again, you will need discernment to understand that this is the wrong strategy, or you will need advice to tell, oh, no, you're working hard, but you're doing the wrong things. So be careful when you know, because as I always tell you guys, hard work has never killed a person. Hard work has never failed. I have not seen somebody who put in what is required and is not blessed by God. I'm still to see that person. But if you know diligently, you know sincerely that every day and night, you're putting in the right hard work and there's no level of certain result, then we need to talk about it. When it comes to business, and some careers, you need to put in consistent hard work, like for at least 4 years. In 4 years, you start seeing some signs of success. In the 7th year, you start seeing some blowing, some things that in the 10th year, you have entered your open heavens year. It's just, I like to call it the spiritual law of success and process. It's as if there's just that time, you have to just put in that time. There's that, God just needs to go through that time of training and growth and experience and learning and perfection. When the blessings come, you are ready for it. Okay? You may be busy doing something that is already outdated. Yeah, that will not produce results. Something that the world has evolved from and is no longer working or applicable to the current context of today. Always check to see if the mentality which created and managed what used to make your star shine has expired. If you say you are working with it, your work will be in vain. Study to constantly improve. Okay, so that is it for your star and your diligence. Let's conclude today with your star and sacrifice. That is the 4th arrow. The 4th arrow. So we have seen that you need to activate the arrow of spirituality. You need to activate the arrow of vision. You need to activate the arrow of diligence. Now let us look at the arrow of sacrifice. Without sacrifice, the star will not shine completely, and stardom will be far from you. The key verse here is 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 29, 26 and 27. 2 Kings chapter 3, 26 and 27. Okay, let's look at your star and sacrifice according to Reverend Olantunde Steve. As I earlier mentioned, stardom is operated from the spirit, and the spirit realm in the physical world is operated from altars. Altars are the meeting points between the visible and the invisible, the seen and the unseen, the mortal and the immortal. Without an altar, there cannot be a portal for the spiritual to meddle in the affairs of the terrestrial world. And without an altar, no human has access to the spirit world. It is the point of transaction between spirit and man. The currency of their transaction is sacrifice. Dominion is preceded by confrontation of both spiritual and physical resistance. Yeah. For you to dominate, you have to confront things both physically and spiritually. Do you hear that? For you to dominate, you have to confront things spiritually and physically. You cannot, with your strength and capacity, dominate this year. The enemy's camp is not sparing any effort to bring you down. In the passage we just read, the king of Moab turned God against his own people by the power of sacrifice. As the enemy is sacrificing to their altars, to their gods against you, what is on your own altar which shows your honor for your God? That's what sacrifice does. Sacrifice shows honor. Sometimes you don't sacrifice because you want to give, because God lacks anything. He's all self-sufficient. He owns everything. He created everything. But God likes honor. God likes worship. That's the only thing he cannot do for himself. Right? That's what is so powerful. When you do anything in that dimension, it keeps God indebted to commit to you. Like I said the other day, stop expecting God to commit to you when you have not committed to his own things. That's why you cannot be an average Christian. You cannot be a normal, just a normal person, just being normal with the things of God and expect stardom. Anybody who is at the top in anything, they are not normal when it comes to spiritual things. And one of them is sacrifice. That's why when you look at the things of, when you look at this Nigerian people talk about the culture, they sacrifice their parents, they sacrifice their wives, the kids, they sacrifice stuff. Because you've got to lose something to contain something. You have, for you to confront some spiritual things, some things are going to leave you that pain you. Sacrifice is to pain you. If you give something and you're still comfortable with it, it does not sacrifice. That's just an offering. What is on your altar which shows your honor and reverence for your God? Power is obtained on altars, and altars are powered by sacrifice. What are you giving up to go up? What are you giving up to go up? Therefore, what and to who are you sacrificing in this season? What are you sacrificing? And to who are you sacrificing? That's a question for you. What are you sacrificing, and to whom or to who are you sacrificing this season? There are three main things that we're going to look at here. Number one, you need to sacrifice to God, your creator. You need to sacrifice to God, your creator. And there are three major sacrifices that you can give God. And I can share a couple of personal testimonies about myself and some friends that in my circle. The sacrifice of your life, the first thing that I can sacrifice to God is the sacrifice of your life as in dedication to his will. That's why you can to be say, give your life to Christ or surrender your life to Christ and all of that, right? Sacrifice of your life as in dedication. Choose to be in the will of God. Make up your mind. Totally surrender to the will of God. That is the first sacrifice. Sacrifice number 2, your time to commune and fellowship with him. Yes, your time to commune. You need to sacrifice time to go to church. Sacrifice time to pray. Sacrifice time to study the Bible. Sacrifice time to meditate. Sacrifice time to fast. But whatever you have to sacrifice time to do something that will enable you to commune and fellowship with God. Could be like sacrificing time to go to church on weekly services, on Sundays, on special programs in church. Sacrifice time to fast. Sacrifice private time just to pray. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, depending on your prayer life, just to pray, commune with him. Sacrifice time just to study the Bible and see what it says about you, about creation, about the society, about what you can do, to study and know what God is telling you through his word. Sacrifice your time to commune and fellowship. And lastly, what you can sacrifice to God is your substance. Your substance. And this is very tricky. So there are some people that do the first two, don't do the last one because they are greedy. Their hand is closed. But they don't get it. That's not the complete circle of God's sacrifice. Includes these 3 things. Dedicate your life to him, commune and fellowship with him, and use your substance and sacrifice to God. And altars need substance. That's why I look at in the world, people take goats, take cows. Like I always say, you are trying to compete against somebody in your industry who has gone to an altar and sacrificed 30 goats every year. What is on your own altar that can fight for you? There are some things in your success journey that when it comes, some fights you cannot fight it. It is all your altar that fights for you. You don't fight a spiritual fight with your physical body. You need something that is spiritual to fight for you. You don't know who is fighting. As I said, some listeners may be saying them, some people don't understand it yet. But in my little way of testing success, I have seen things. That things that I also hear, I'm like, this didn't really happen. But when they started happening to me or to my business, I'm like, wow. I was telling my staff the other day, there are some pressures that they never feel it. It is me at the top that feels it. It's me at the top that get to see some things. It is me at the top that can see something get to rise spiritually or behind the scenes. They don't see it. And it's my job as a visionary to withstand those battles, to raise altars that can fight for the business and for me personally. I hear what I've read, like one of the most recent rampant things in Cameroon has been what? Poisoning. People dying mysteriously. People coming from abroad and end up dying and not going back. People dying of mysterious accidents. Guys, this thing is serious. But trust me, you will not understand the seriousness until you have seen it. But don't wait to see. Don't wait to enter at your influential realm or popular realm empty-handed with nothing backing you up. That's why there are some people that when they taste fame only small, they die like a chicken. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that some people when they just pass small, like somebody who pass like 5 on 5 GPA, get a scholarship, go abroad, and maybe one uncle just quarter the person, like boom, they just die. Funny that. Or you see a child is so bright, has 5 A's, and then do you think good things just die like that? No, it's not normal. It's not normal. But the point is that for certain things to work in your life, for God to defend, you cannot expect God to commit to you when you are not committing to him. Someone say, oh, why didn't God protect him? There's mercy. And yes, there's place of mercy. But there's also place for you to do your part as a human. That's why God is not forcing everybody to accept Christ. They say you have to ask your question, will you accept him? And you have to answer yes. You have to voluntarily, you have to make a decision. There's something called a human spirit, and God respects the place of a human spirit. Right? So guys, we need to do what is right. Don't just, there's some people that all they do is just pray and go to church and all of that. Yeah, that's good. That's part of sacrifice, but it's not complete. The circle is not complete. What are you doing? What altars have you raised? What has your money done for God? What have your money done for the things of God? Find ways to sacrifice. Find ways to raise spiritual altars of sacrifice. As I said, guys, you don't know what people are doing. You're trying to you're trying to build a company in an industry whereby somebody is sacrificing one cow every day to stay at the top. And you don't know that. Somebody is sacrificing a virgin every year to stay at the top. Somebody is traveling and paying flight to Benin, to Nigeria, to South Africa, to India, to see one Baba to stay at the top. And you think under your sense and hard work will take you there. Yes, those ones are important. But trust me, there's another thing that you need to do. And sacrifice has power. That's why even non-pagan, when they sacrifice, works for them. It has power. It goes beyond your religious beliefs. What are you sacrificing on your altar? What altar can fight for you when you're sleeping? Pay attention to that. Number two, the second thing that you need to sacrifice, we've looked at one, sacrifice to God, your creator, and we've looked at the three elements of sacrificing to God, which is your life, dedicating to him, surrender to him, your time and communion with him, and then your substance. Find ways to sacrifice. You can do, like, for example, what I do, I don't joke with church projects. Like, for example, when I see a new church being built, or I see a pastor announcing they're building a church, I always try to support. You know, I'm not giving for the pastor, I'm supporting the kingdom of God. That's what I do. So many times when there's a project in church, I do my best to be the first person that raises something, raises a significant amount and support. I'm not just doing that because there's a project. No, that is an altar. That's how to be part of an altar. Right? There are many ways that you can raise substances. Let your money, sometimes I always say something funny. If I don't have time to pray, let my money pray for me. Right? Yes. Raise some strong stuff. Raise the substance for it. Number two, sacrifice your vision. Your life, your time, sacrifice to your vision. That is your life, your time, and your resources. Forgo food to buy books. Pay for trainings. Develop your capacity in your vision. But you need to sacrifice to your vision. Your vision will not just happen. Some of you need to go back and do a master's degree program and live uncomfortably so that you can raise money for that fees. That's sacrificing to your vision. You will need to buy books this year. You will need to buy courses this year so that you can study and become excellent. That is sacrificing to your vision. A vision will not just manifest. Something has to leave you before your vision can manifest. What are you sacrificing for your vision today? Next, sacrifice to people. Yes, you need to sacrifice to people. Sacrifice your pride. Be humble. Sometimes you will need to just be humble and forget about who you are. Sacrifice your substance. Yes, you need to give people something. That's why I look at people who give a lot. Their hands are they're dangerously progressing. There's power in giving, not only giving to God, giving to other people. Just blessing, sit and you bless somebody. Especially somebody who has significantly impacted you. Right? Look at your secondary school days. Well, there was somebody who maybe just gives something to you that you said, know what, if none of this person, I would have died of hunger. Being able to sacrifice for somebody who has done something of impact to you is very powerful. It's a spiritual principle, actually. Sacrificing to your parents, even to that uncle who stood there for you, to that aunt who stood there for you, sacrificing to that friend who stood there for you, sacrificing even to your wife and to your husband or to your boyfriend or to your girlfriend or whoever. Some things don't take it for granted, even though, yes, even though, like, you know, he or she can be your husband, but there's an extra matter they have gone for you and say, no, I know this person is my wife and my husband, but you know what? This kind of love and dedication, sacrifice a gift for her. Sacrifice something significant. Give her something and just acknowledge them. It is so powerful. Like I was telling you, one thing I did, I think I was sharing it when I was teaching something about staffing with a mini MBA program. I did something with my staff yesterday, a few days back. She came and told me that she needs permission and she's going to do a traditional wedding. I said, oh, really? I'm like, I've always told them that if you sacrifice for the company always stand for you when you need the company. I always tell them that every staff meeting, you can ask my staff, will tell you. I always tell them that if you stand for this company, we'll stand for you. So when it comes to my staff, I don't think twice sacrifice for them. And if I don't start doing it now, I will not do it when we have hundreds of millions in our bank accounts. So when she said, I want to go to, I said, what can I do to this lady to let them know that we appreciate the work that she's doing with us? We love her as a colleague, and we are supporting her to this. That's sacrifice. I said, okay, you know what? We're going to give her a gift that is her full salary. So I told her, I'm going to give you money, which is your full salary, but it's not your January salary. At the end of the month, we'll still pay you a normal salary for January, but I'm going to give you a financial gift that is equal your salary for this month. This is to say that this is a gift for you. This is me sacrificing to you. And this is me thanking you for your dedication and your commitment and your hard work for the business. This is me telling you that, as you stand for the business, as you sacrifice time, blood, and sweat for the business will also stand for you. That is sacrificing for people. Who are those core people around you that you can sacrifice for? Who is that teacher that served you? Sacrifice for that person. And I've heard stories of people having open doors when they get to give to people that have been significant, have done things of significance to them, and their lives have changed. Because it's something else. It's not just in the church. Not what I'm making in the church that give a lot to their men of God, to their pastors, because they, as I always say something in church, the grace you don't honor cannot bless you. And every human being has graces. And especially people that have been designed to lead you in one way or the other. Your parents command certain level of blessings and grace that sometimes you can only activate with a sacrifice, even though they're your parents, even though it's your mom or your dad. There's a level of prayer that your mom can only pray for you the day you buy her a wrapper, or the day you buy her a nice shoe, or the day you do something of significance, right, just to honor her. There's that grace that is released at that time. She may not do it to you openly, but she may go behind the scenes and pray a dangerous prayer for you that you have no idea about. And that kind of prayer is only activated by a sacrifice. Right? It's the same. Like sometimes there are many people that sometimes they look at the work I do with them, they just sacrifice and give a gift. Of course, when you do that, I don't just go and sit quiet. I pray for, I know I command a certain grace when it comes to the marketplace success. I pray for your business. I pray for your career. I may not pray to you openly sometimes, but I pray for you. There are some things that can only be activated. It reminds people, right? The same that God gave Jesus Christ as a sacrifice. When he looks at him, mercies are activated. It reminds him, oh, you know what? I gave my son for these people. Sometimes your sacrifice reminds people of certain things that they can activate in your favor. Even apart from that, when somebody has sacrificed for you, sacrifice for that person. It could be time, it could be resources, it could be dedication. Or somebody has sacrificed for another person. You look at how somebody is doing something for somebody else. You just give somebody a gift. Say, no, what? I just want to celebrate you and sacrifice this for you because I see the work you do for other people, for the community. What are you sacrificing to people? What substance is leaving you? Don't sacrifice just with your thank yous and all of that. Go a step further. Look at your family. Look at your friends. Look at your colleagues. Look at your immediate community. It must not be millions. It must not be hundreds of thousands. It could just be 1,000 francs. It could just be data for 5,000. It could just be a 5,000 mobile money transfer. It could just be a 2,000 francs. Give to that person. I say, you know what? I just acknowledge the work that you do. This is my sacrifice to support you in one way or the other. This is a spiritual principle of success that is older than you and I, whether we like it or not. The next is your time. Sacrifice your time. Don't waste time doing the wrong things. Sacrifice the time you're supposed to sleep to be up and study, to be up and attend a coaching session like this. Sacrifice your time to not watch television and focus on the right things. Sacrifice your time to not go and party and hang out till 1 a.m., come back tired with nothing that you brought back and end up you get to even have food to eat. Sacrifice and do something that makes sense for yourself. You've got to sacrifice something. Okay? So revive your altar of sacrifice to God, right? Revive your altar to God. Revive your sacrifice to the right people. Revive dedication. Revive your diligence. Revive whatever you need to revive. Go back to the drawing board if you have to go back so that you can rise to the top and do what is required. I always tell you guys, you have to do what the marketplace requires. Do what the standard requires, not what you feel. Sometimes what you feel and what you know is not important. That's the whole thing that they know things that they cannot succeed because what you know may not be what the marketplace requires. Start doing what is required of you for you to rise to the top. Greatness is going to cost you. But when you do the right things, you sacrifice the right things, everything that you're looking for comes to you. Everything you're looking for comes to you. There is a time that you stop sacrificing from the place of lack. You sacrifice from the place of abundance. But trust me, there are moments that you have to sacrifice from the place of lack. Like you have like your last 20,000 francs, and you take it and go sponsor a church project with it. That's your last. But the time is coming where you take 10 million to sacrifice the things of God out of 100 million, out of 100 billion. But it's still sacrifice because you only have the heart. It's about the heart. It's about how you do it. It's about the consciousness that you carry to do it. All right, people, we have 7 minutes for questions, and today's session is done.